Thanks for both of those service announcements. The Earth Day event was this week, and we wanted to commemorate it. There are a number of people on the campus who do some phenomenal work in conjunction with Earth Day, from people in our science department to people like Dr. Bailey, who contacted me about having one of our parents speak this morning, Scott Potter. Mr. Potter is the director of Metro Water, and I feel privileged to have known him now for a while and know him well. He's had a son graduate and a son here now, and it's been fascinating to hear him talk about the way he works with our city and the incredible work that he has done. And that's been a huge topic in Nashville, given the floods that we had in 2010 and some important issues. You heard our own mayor speak here about the significance of water. And so we are grateful to have Scott Potter here. Please join me in welcoming here.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. I am a certified tree hugger, and I'm glad to be here. Metro Water Services, we're in the business of sustainability. Next slide, please. First thing to talk about, we sell your poop, and we sell it at good profit. In 1955, when you went to the bathroom, or your grandparents went to the bathroom, that waste went to the river without any kind of treatment at all. In 1955, we started collecting that waste, and we started to treat it and reintroduce it into the environment. So one of the things that people talk about is that we operate sewage plants. Well, we don't do that. You, my friends, are the sewage plants. What we do is we take the sewage from y'all, and we reclaim it. We reclaim the water, and we put it back into the river in a better condition than we took it out. So Metro Water Services water drinking water facilities and wastewater reclamation facilities put the water back into the river better than we take it out. We spent $119 million on our biosolids facility. It's in Germantown. And if y'all have been to Germantown in the last 10 years, you notice that it has exploded in growth. The reason why that happened is we built that biosolids facility to take care of odors in the area and to collect and treat the solids in a more sustainable fashion. Next slide, please. We operate at Metro Water on a leave no trace principle, and actually we operate on a leave it better than you found it principle. So for our facilities, as an example, when we build new buildings or we build new facilities, we go at least LEED Gold. Metro government requires LEED Silver, but we try to get LEED Gold and if possible LEED Platinum, because we want to leave a footprint on the ground better than where we found it. So if you can build a building that has zero net influence on the environment, that's the best. And that's where we try to operate. Next slide. It takes us about $525,000 a day to operate. And 19 to 20% of that is electricity. So if you can think about how much power we use, if we can shave off any kind of electrical power demand, we're going to reduce our expenses. Now raise your hand if your mom or dad have said to you, turn the water off when you're brushing your teeth. Okay, they say to do that because you're wasting water, right? That's a false statement. Ooh. So what are you wasting when you leave the water running? Electricity. Because the water goes back to the river, right? So next time your mom and dad say that, you can gently correct them. You're wasting electricity. Because we use about $20 million a year to pump water all over the city. Next slide. So what we do is we monitor very closely how we operate our plants. So y'all probably drove a car to school this morning. And if you drove a really hot car, maybe you had about 300 horsepower. Okay? Our big pumps, our biggest pump is 35,000 horsepower. So when we turn that bad boy on, we draw a lot of current, right? So we turn that thing on at 10 o'clock at night. So we very closely monitor our use of electricity, and in a sustainable way, we reduce our expenses by not turning those pumps on unless power demand is low. Next slide, please. Next thing, leak detection. We have 3,000 miles of pipe in our system for drinking water and 3,000 miles of pipe for wastewater. You can imagine with 3,000 miles of drinking water pipe, there's lots of connections. There's about 600,000 connections to our system. We spend about $1 million a year looking for leaks, because if you can control a leak, you can find it and replace it and repair it, you can reduce your electricity expenses and your chemical use, and you can be more sustainable. Next. Okay, when in doubt, plant a tree. Okay? If you're sitting around your house doing nothing next Saturday, go buy a tree and plant it, because it's the best stormwater device you can find. It gathers about 1,500 gallons of stormwater a year. It provides a place for a bird to sit, squirrels to sit, makes shade. It's a great sustainability device. So we talk about planting trees. Nashville is going to plant 500,000 in the next 20 years, because that is the most sustainable thing that we can do. We can leave no trace. We can improve the environment from which we entered it, and we can improve it very easily by planting a tree. Next slide, please. This is West Park. Anybody been to West Park? Okay, you ought to go take a look, because about 10 years ago, it was an unused park. Nobody went there because it was dirty, old, facilities were bad. We put a gigantic tank in the center that stores overflows when it's raining really hard. So what we do, the tank you see in that photograph, instead of overflowing into the Richland Creek, we store the rainwater into that tank, and we slowly discharge it, keeping that overflow from going into the creek and harming the creek. Because when you have an overflow into a creek, you deprive the stream of oxygen. And when you deprive the stream of oxygen, then you harm the aquatic life. Next slide. Solar power. We're really big on solar power at Metro Water. It's a very good way, 30 seconds, very good way to reduce your energy footprint and be sustainable. So Carson, did you pay attention? Awesome. Gentlemen, thank you for inviting me.